The postseason means everything to an athlete. It's a time where the stakes are highest. And when special performances happen, they are remembered forever.
Oh, it's a world record for Toussaint! Indeed, she's done it!
On day one of the ISL semifinals, Toussaint and London sent a message.
London, they pick it! That is huge!
Today, the Roar need more of the same because the defending champions Energy Standard are ready to answer back.
Sjöström, oh, she is a superhero indeed!
New York and Tokyo are primed to play spoiler in a match where 4 start and only 2 will advance. This is ISL 2020.
Yeah, man, what a luxury it is for James Gibson and Energy Standard. Sarah Sjöström not in this event, but they do have Siobhan Haughey, who is the fastest so far in ISL 2020. She's going to be down in lane number 3. She's got 20 career ISL wins. 16 of the 20 have come this year for Energy Standard. But she's going to go up against Freya Anderson, who's in lane number 5. She's won this battle one time, and if Anderson can get out quick, the first 50, you'd think she'd have a really good chance of catching Haughey.
That's the absolute key. You don't have to jump on the first 15 meters, but she's got 2 swimmers that will help kind of lead the way going out. Those 3 right there, Hemskirk, Haughey, and Anderson. If she can just keep it close, swim the first 15 like you normally do, and then you've got to jump on this first turn, and it looks like right now that green cap right above Hemskirk. Haughey's right underneath Hemskirk. She did a pretty good job. Let's see from above. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Oh, Haughey right there taking out the early lead, which I thought she would. She was 24-5 last time. 24-4, that's pretty good.
She's in it, as well as Kasia Vasic. Yesterday, New York only picked up one win. It was Escobedo, but it is Haughey in the lead, turning, trying to get the first win of the day for Energy Standard that leads by 21 points. Anderson trying to charge home, just trying to touch the wall second, and out touch Hemsker, but it's Haughey getting the win in the 100 freestyle, her third time she's done it.
That is such a great swim, her lifetime best swim. How about that? All season long, she saves her best for last. She wasn't really good yesterday in the 400 freestyle. Certainly not to what she thought she was capable of doing. Had a disappointing last swim in the 400. She was great on the relays, but here she comes in 24-4, comes back at 26-6. Yes, Freya Anderson was charging, no doubt about it. Again, she goes out in 25 flat, 24.95, but it's just too much to make up here, Bernie. That first 50, 8/10 is a lot, and that's an Asian record to boot. Fastest swimmer in Asian history, the swimmer from Hong Kong, getting it done for Energy.
Man, it helps to have a team that is stacked, and that's what Gibbo has. Troystrom goes out, but Siobhan Haughey does the job down to five-time Olympian Mark Foster, who's with Haughey.
Siobhan, another win in the Asian record.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that. It's a very tough competition, so I'm really happy with my time.
Under 51, hopefully in the final.
Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping for.
Awesome, you're swimming really well. Well done.
Thank you.
Now, if she could get under 51, there's only one swimmer in history that has done that. It's the world record holder. All right, men's 100 freestyle is our next event on the pool deck, and I think this is interesting, Rowdy, because we're going to have a first-time champion.
Right.
And this field includes Florin Manadou. You'd think that sometime in the course of his ISL career he would have won the 100 freestyle, but that's not the case.
I literally wrote that on my notes too, Barney. Here it is, first-time winner here, or whoever wins this race. And I cannot believe Manadou, after all these matches, what, 15, 20 matches that we've had, that he hasn't won the 100 freestyle. He was second the very first match to Dressel, not by much, just a couple of tenths. But I have a feeling this might just be his first win. He's the only guy ranked in the top 10 time-wise this season.
Won the 50 freestyle yesterday. This is an event that Moresi and Apple dominated for Aqua and DC Trident.
He's got two pretty good guys on either side of him. Relov, who's been 46 plus, has a rating of 7, and Volokovashov, who has been third once before. Relov's been top 3 too a couple times.
And remember, London added Nakamura just into this group just to maybe try to get an opportunity. Matsui down in lane number 1. He's out to a really good start as well. Only 2/100ths of a second off Manadou. Vakovashev trying to move into range as well. Thornmeyer, who had a big first day, turns with Manadou.
Manadou was 22-2 when he went 46 flat. He was 22 flat, but he's saving it for the last 50.
Oh, wow, what a final 25. Manadou dominates, gets the win, and 1-2 for Energy Standard as they go 2 for 2 to start day 2 of the semifinal.
That's exactly what they did yesterday. They gained a little momentum, really never looked back. London closed the gap a few times, especially at the end of the day, but they needed to get off to a hot start here today, and they did it with two huge superstars for their team. Haughey and now Flo Manadou. I thought going out in 22-2, he might be in a little trouble, but boy, he had no problem in the last 50. Came home in 23-6. 22-2, 23-6. That's a pretty good split there. And nobody else broke 24. Relov coming home in 24 flat with 46-7, but it wasn't even close.
The 16th ISL win in the career of Flo Manadou, but for the first time, he wins the 100 freestyle at Energy Standard, taking the first 2 battles here on day 2. Man, look at the domination for Energy Standard on the MVP battle, led by Sjöström of 35 points, but they had the top 7 swimmers at the moment here in the semifinal. All right, Tokyo finds themselves trailing London by 70 points. But the good news, Ratty, is the Frog Kings look like they're a whole lot better on day number 2. It's Suzuka Hasegawa 4 for 4 in this event. She's going to be down in lane number 2. She is clearly the favorite, and if they can get some momentum, they certainly can cut into that London Roar lead.
And the key for them, they don't have a lot of relays. I mean, yesterday we had 4 relays, and they're just not very good on the relays, and they only have 1 relay to deal with today, so that helps them a lot. They've got those IMs, and of course, as you said, they've got this 200-meter butterfly, and they'll be good in the men's butterfly coming up next as well.
All right, the day began with Energy Standard leading by 21 points. It's now a 34-point advantage over London. Hasegawa and Buglarka Kappas, the only 2 in this field that have won this event. And Hasegawa trying to go a perfect 5 for 5 in the event.
Yeah, unfortunately, when Kappas won, she was 2:06.1. That's the slowest, next to slowest time, winning time of the season. Hasegawa's been 2:03 plus every time. And everybody has to deal with Hasegawa's speed. Nobody can match her first 100. She's, I wouldn't say pedestrian the last 100, she's fantastic. But a lot of swimmers can match her the last 100. Nobody can match her speed going out. Right now, nobody's even close. She may be 2 seconds ahead of the field, if not more. The only person that might be close going out with her is her own teammate, Shimizu. And there she goes.
But right in the story, you only get 12 men, 12 women to be on your team, so you're going to have strengths and you're going to have weaknesses, but this is a big weakness for London. And again, if you can avoid getting 7th and 8th, if you could get maybe 5th and 6th and get an extra couple points, that could be the difference at the end.
And you're right, buddy. It doesn't sound like much. Hey, 5th and 6th versus 7th, what's that big a deal? Believe me, every point counts. When they were 21 points down, you know these are so valuable each and every race. And there she is again, 58.8. A little bit off of what she went when she went the fastest time of the season, 2:03.1, but 58.4 going out is pretty good.
But right now it is all about Tokyo. Hasegawa in 2, Shimizu and 1, trying to get a 1-2 finish with Chimrova at the top of the white cap. There she is in lane number 8. You can see her into the picture.
That Chimrova came in with the 4th fastest time of the season, 2:05.9. Comes in rated 6th in this event. So she's putting together a good one. Again, they're not going to catch Hasegawa. There's just no way. She's normally 32 low on her last 250s. There are some that can match her there, 32 low. I've even seen a 31 plus, but nobody can do what she's doing right now.
Suzuka Hasegawa dominates the 200 butterfly. 5th time she's won the event. 2:03.95, and the Frog Kings go 1st and 3rd.
That's what they need. That's exact, and you were right, Bernie. London goes 6th and 8th. That's not where you want to be in that race. Energy was 4th and 7th, so that doesn't help them much in the cause. But here's Hasegawa right there in lane number 2, next to her teammate. 2 good swims. Shimizu went her best time of the season as well, so that's great news for Tokyo on a day where they need every single point to even have an outside shot of catching London. Shimizu probably should have been 2nd, but regardless, it's important for Hasegawa to win and Shimizu to get in there and get 3rd. Good swim for her, 58.8 going out. And then again, she's 32.3, 32.7 coming back. There were splits faster than her, that second 100, but boy, she's got speed going out.
That is what the doctor ordered for Tokyo, trying to work their way back in this one. They're going to need a couple more performances like that today if they're going to have an opportunity. Because now we saw Energy take the first two events, and they're going to be the favorite again in this one. With Honda and Kabori coming on. Tokyo having eyes of going 2 for 2. But the favorite is going to be in lane number 4. Chad Leclos has won this event 6 times in his career, 3 times this season. He was second in his first match, but he's been a completely different swimmer since match number 1.
He certainly has. And this is not an easy field, Bernie. I mean, the top 2 swimmers are not here. They'll see them later on tonight, Shields and Wong. But 3 through 8 are here. So you've got 6 of the 8 fastest, and this is a very, very good field he's got going here. But I still don't think, even though Leclos, as you said, is improving, I still don't think we've seen the best of Leclos. I think he's definitely going to be rested and shaved for next weekend. All he's got to do is get by and win this one.
Yeah, former world record holder, won 148.32. That's his lifetime best. Vinny Lanza, on paper so far this season, should have an opportunity, if he swims well, to be with Leclos at the end.
150.6 to 150.2, so you're right next to Leclos, to his left with the green cap. And again, this is where London, you know, if they're going to have a chance, they need to pull out some surprises. Would this be a huge shock? No question about it. I don't think it's going to happen, but if it happens, Vazayos is the guy that can do it, because he can match Leclos at the end, believe it or not. We've seen Leclos kind of float the first 100 a few times and then take off that second 100. Well, Lanza has a really good second 100 as well.
Well, it looks like Chad Leclos is pushing the first 100 right here.
Yeah, he pushed the pace, and now he's pushed Lanza to maybe change his strategy a little bit. Maybe he thought maybe I could go out slow with Leclos and come back with him. Well, now all of a sudden he's had to push that second 50 to stay close to Leclos.
Yeah, look at Honda down in lane number 2 on the left side. He is the one that turns first.
Honda
Tokyo
and Kabori, both of them 1-2 now. Leclos was third and Lanza was fifth, but they're all within 0.2 of a second, Bernie. Not really much of a difference. This is what I talked about. 6 of the 8 fastest were all separated by about 1.5 seconds, and there are those 6 swimmers right there.
Well, for Tokyo, this could be their final ISL match of 2020, so they're giving it their all, trying to see if they can surge ahead. Now look at Chad Leclos, look left, look right, and he's decided he's in the lead, but he's got to push the pedal here because Honda is challenging him down in lane number 2.
He's first now. That was 28.8, his third 50. Let's check this last 50 and see what he does.
Chad Leclos gets it done. About 1/2 second in front of Honda.
150.6, 28.3, his last 50. He's been coming home in about 28 flat, so a little off, but he did exactly what he needed to do. And again, 150.6, not very fast, certainly not as fast as he's been this season, but this is, again, putting your hand on the wall first. Let's make sure we maintain that lead. Let's build the lead. Energy's finishes first and 7th. London is 3rd and 5th. Lanza ended up fading to 5th. He did not have a good swim, but Vazayos, his teammate, did good in getting 3rd. And then Tokyo 2nd and 4th. So everybody's going to kind of maintain position here. There's not going to be a lot of shifting in this race as far as the points go in team battle. But you see the last turn, Leclos coming off, and he looks right into the 2 Japanese swimmers, Honda and Kabori, and that helped him a lot by getting that peek at him, and then he poured it on the last 25.
And by the way, after Chad Leclos wins the 200 butterfly for the 7th time, the 21-point advantage for Energy Standard at the beginning has now grown to 40 points as Leclos has the win. He's down in the pool deck with Mark.
Chad, another great win. You're just showing that consistency every time now.
Yeah, thank you. Very happy with that. Gregor was quite good next to me, so it was quite a good double for both of us. It was a tough field again, and obviously semifinals, getting the job done, and 2 more big races tonight.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of looking around down that 7th length.
Yeah.
And then you just went to the afterburner.
No, actually, it was quite hard at the end. I was quite tired. I knew it was going to be tight again. I mean, the Japanese are very consistent, and London, I knew, had to make a statement today. So I saw Jimmy Guy and the boys cheering. I'm looking at them like, I see how it is, eh? I thought we were boys, but no, it was a good fun out there, and hopefully we can continue to win today.
Another solid swimming energy on the roll.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Chad Leclos getting it done. What a start as Energy is racking up the wins here on day 2. Well, the road to the final begins today in Budapest with the first of 2 semifinals. Energy Standard, the defending champions, London War alongside the Tokyo Frog Kings and New York.
This woman is absolutely incredible.
Sjöström continues to look better every time she dives into the pool. Chad Leclos, he looks to his right, and Energy Standard, they take the first 2 events. Marco Koch trying to remain unbeaten. And it's gonna be Kirill Pergoda. London roaring to the win. Sjöström gets the win.
How good is that relay, Bernie?
Wow. Time to find out who's the fastest here in the 50 freestyle. It is all about Manadou. He gets the win. Sjöström, oh, she is a superhero indeed.
Duncan Scott, look at this man go! Wow!
Tokyo's Yuri Ohashi wins the 200 IM for the 4th time this season. Oh, Petey indeed! Look at the finish! Oh, wow! Toussaint trying to do it. Oh, it's a world record for Toussaint! Indeed, she's done it! Sjöström, she will have her team pick the skins. Manadou, here he comes! Energy coming home! Duncan Scott says, no way, Jose! London, they pick it! That is huge! All right, 3 of the first 4 wins of day 2 have gone the way of Energy Standard, but there she is, newly minted world record holder, Toussaint, coming onto the pool deck for a pretty intriguing 100 backstroke rally.
It really is. I mean, when you think about what she did in the 50, now the 100, if you look at the world record in the 100, everybody probably needs to take a look at it. It's 54.89 by Atherton, who broke it in the ISL last year. She's not here. She's 7/10 off of that. She was 8/100ths off the 50, so that's a lot longer to go. And she got beat by Seebohm on the medley relay yesterday. So Emily Seebohm, who has never won this event, Bernie. Can't believe that, right?
And the good news is that Toussaint and Seebohm are going to be right next to one another in 3 and 4. And I know that we've said the story a couple of times, but it's quite remarkable now that Toussaint is the world record holder that she thought for a moment of going back to the Netherlands to train and not finishing out the ISL season. Man, is she glad she is here racing now.
And you can kind of see her moving her lips. She told Mark and Jen yesterday that she kind of talks to herself, tells her what she needs to do. Coming off the block, she'll continue to kind of talk to herself. Again, Seebohm never has won this. There she is right now. There's Emily Seebohm. Seebohm has finished second 3 times and third 5 times in her ISL career.
Well, this is a story we know that Toussaint is going to push the pedal early and expect Seebohm to be really good the final 25.
Yep, 26.9 when she went 55.6 earlier. Second fastest this season, she was 26.9. FYI, the world record was 26.5. 26.9, right on it. Seebohm right there to her left. You can't miss her. With a red cap coming down between those two. The lead that she has built, is it enough to hold off Seebohm at the end? I kind of think it is.
Energy Standard, they have 3 wins, trying to get their 4th, or will it be London getting their first win? How the win's gonna go to the world record holder, Toussaint.
Seebohm, the bridesmaid again. Now she's been second 4 times in her career. Nothing to hang her head about. She swam great, 56.1 for her. That's her fastest time of the season, but Toussaint, just too much. You know, she's really building off that energy and that excitement that she had off the 50 back. Kind of hard to come down from that in the medley relay, which was like 20 minutes after the 50 back, but she came back in a big way yesterday. Considering she was 56.6 on the relay, now she's 55.9. That's 7/10 faster. Had a day of rest, had a day of kind of pondering what she did yesterday. 26.9, 28.9, pretty good. Big win for London, by the way.
And the lead now 36 points for Energy Standard after London gets their first win. And Mark is down with the world record holder, Kira Toussaint. Mark?
Kira, the world record holder from yesterday. Sunk in yet?
I guess a little bit, yeah.
And the 100, a little bit, solid swim, and you stopped Energy Standard's dominance.
Yeah, like last night after like halfway, it's very tight in team points. To be honest, I don't really know where we are right now. But
You're second.
okay, good. So I'm very excited that I could get points for the team. And we have done so well as a team yesterday. So I really hope we can continue that today, yeah.
Good job, and you're the fastest backstroker on the planet.
Thank you.
Good job.
Still likes hearing that.
Love that sound, right?
But speaking of a battle, we saw a great one in the 200 butterfly, but this one, folks, maybe even better. Guillermo Guido in lane number 5 has won this event 5 times. Clement Kolesnikov has won this event 3 times. Grievers 1 time, and Aurier down in lane number 1 has 2 wins. And in this season, Guido, Kolesnikov, and Aurier all with 2 wins.
Yeah, so they're going to break the tie. Who's going to do the hat trick here? There's Aurier. He'll come back on him. He's done that a couple times here in the 100. He did it in the 200. Kolesnikov, 49.16 this season. It's 28/100ths of a second off the world record. We've got to start thinking world record watch every time one of these guys jump in the water. Little mix-up.
Only one swimmer in history has gotten to that 48.88 mark. It looks like they're gonna adjust. For this backstroke start?
Yeah, those are the backstroke wedges. They're a relatively new innovation for swimming. They came on about 4 or 5 years ago. Haven't had any problems or issues with them up to this point. That is Kolesnikov making sure that it's exactly the way he wants it to be. And again, that
makes a big difference
in
the start.
It takes the mental edge off of you. It can anyway, because now you all of a sudden have to worry about that. A good start for Kolesnikov. If you're looking for time, he's 0.63. He was one of the slowest off the blocks. Could that have affected him there?
Diener looked really good to start this battle. He's up in lane number 6. We didn't even talk about him because he hasn't won this 100 backstroke yet, but he and Guido out really quick. Can they go 1-2 for London?
Well, Guido went 49.4 on the relay. That is his best time of the season. He saved that for the relay, and that was a huge momentum builder for London, and one of the reasons why they won. Here comes Kalashnikov right next to him in that red cap. Guido's got a great turn, though.
But Kalashnikov even better underwater. Kalashnikov breaks out first, and Energy back on top.
49.38. And he just destroyed the field the last 25. He and Arie both came home in 25-1 and 25-4 respectively. And Guido just had no idea what hit him. I mean, he was there, 23.8 going out. That was underworld record split. You could see him playing with that backstroke wedge right there and making sure it's tight. And I think he felt a little frustration. It cost him a little bit on the start. So I think he, again, showed a lot of poise, Bernie. That's the key for this youngster, to be able to show the poise, not let it affect you that first 50. Kind of build the first 50, kind of get your mind straight, and then burn that last 25, which is what he did. 49.3, just off his best time of the season.
And he wins in jackpot fashion, 15 points, as he snatches away some of the points from the New York Breakers. So 20 points in that battle. And look at the lead now, 372 points for Energy Standard over the London Roar. All right, women's 100 IM next year on the pool deck. And it's interesting because we see Sarah Sjöström in lane number 4. Again, the difference between when she swam this race just a couple of days ago is that she didn't swim the 100 freestyle, so she should be a lot fresher here, Rowdy.
Yeah, very fresh. And her best time of the season, again, 57.7. She's got the second fastest in history, only behind Katinka Hosu's best second fastest swimmer. She's been 57.1, which is about a half a second off that world record. Keep an eye on Imai and Wood, though. They are very good as well. Wood, British record holder, Imai, Japanese record holder.
Yeah, believe it or not, Sjöström has the fewest wins in the field. Imai has won this race 3 times, but we expect a much different Sarah Sjöström here, not swimming the 100 freestyle.
Yeah, because the 100 free was only 30 minutes ago, and so when she swum that, that was very tough. Now, she did that match one and still won the race. Very close. Imai's right there with her. Skrdai, her teammate, pretty good as well. This is a great 1-2 punch Energy has here.
Kamenova trying to move up. She's moved into 3rd for London, and it looks like Imai has taken the lead, but Sjöström, she has some great back freestyle.
Imai's really built a huge lead. I don't think she's gonna catch her.
Oh, Tokyo loves the IM. Imai has won it for the 4th time. Sjöström will finish 2nd and Pickram 3rd. Wow, Tokyo needed that.
Oh, they really did, Bernie. This is you couldn't pick a better time to do this, to just start making those small steps ahead. Imai right there in lane number 2 next to her teammate Teramura. But you can just get a sense after that first 50, she says, I'm with her. I'm hanging right there with her. And then she really built a great 25 breaststroke, the weakest for Sjöström, and Sjöström just couldn't do it. And we thought maybe at the turn she could, but boy, she had a great turn. Imai, I'm talking about. And 57.77. Good time as well.
All right, so Tokyo and London equal in the points, and one better than Energy Standard there in that 100 IM. The question for Tokyo is, can they keep it going with Vladimir Morozov? He's the world record holder in this event. He's going to be down in lane number 2 alongside Hagino. But Hagino, obviously, we're going to see him the favorite in the 400 IM a little bit later. But we haven't seen the Vladimir Morozov that we expect to see
Not even
so
close.
far this entire season, right?
Not even close, Bernie. I mean, we can't sugarcoat it and say, well, he's been close. He's not even close to what he did even last year. This guy has the 10 fastest times in history in the 100 IM, and he's ranked 3rd right now just in this ISL season, almost a second and a half behind his world record. So if Morozov had come in here and been what everybody expected to him, and everybody's in a different way, you know, listen, you can't blame him for what's happened the last 9 months. This is a situation that has affected so many swimmers in so many different ways, but
He looks relaxed.
he does look relaxed, a little smile on his face. He has won this event this season. He went 51-4 to win the 3rd match. Watch Michael Andrew in 7. I think he's due to have a good one. He's been second 3 different times. If Andrew can build a big enough lead on Morozov and others going into that 75, I think he's got a chance to win it.
It seems like that has been the story. Michael Andrew leading at the 75, but not at the finish.
Well, you know, he's been close so many times this season. So many different 50s. You know, he's been close in the 100 IM. I think he's been second at least a half a dozen times in various 50s. There he is to the right of your screen, white cap, second lane from the right. He'll have the lead at the breaststroke, just like he has so many times before. He may do it this time. I think he may, I don't know.
Morozov charging. Can Michael Andrew hold him off? He can! Michael Andrew! New York, New York! His first win of ISL 2020. And a jackpot going the way of New York. All right, back on the pool deck, Bernie Gunther, 3-time Olympic champion, Ratty Gaines, 5-time Olympian, Mark Foster. And we've already seen Siobhan Haughey, Freya Anderson, part 1, time for part 2 on the day, and it's an even better battle now for Siobhan Haughey, who has won this 200 freestyle 7 times in her career, but we have 2 of the top 3 ISL rated swimmers. You can see Siobhan Haughey's overall ISL rating, showing that she is the 11th best performer in all the league as far as scoring points for her team. 26.5 points in this match.
Certainly looks like another great duel between these 2 swimmers. We saw the first one pay off in the 100 freestyle, where Haughey went a best time and an Asian record. Freya Anderson was solid in her performance. Freya Anderson is better in the 200, but the bad news on that is so is Haughey. She's probably better in the 200 as well. I love what Freya Anderson has
Haughey has never been,
team.
sorry, Haughey has never been beaten in this event.
You're right, Bernie, and they've won the last 5 matches. Match 6 through 10 have either been Haughey or Anderson, and what I was saying about Anderson was, you know, she's swimming in a big club program now, but trained at a, you know, a small program back home at a private school pool. Or college coach Alan Bircher has just done a phenomenal job with bringing her along here, and now here she is, and once again, having to come from behind, as she has done so many times here in the ISL. Whether it's on a relay, on the 100, the 200, she may be 2 seconds behind Haughey. I mean, in fact, Haughey's best split, 53.7 at the 100. Anderson, when she won her best time this year, was 56 flat.
Only one swimmer has ever gotten under 151. That's her teammate, Sarah Schoistrom, who is the world record holder.
Well, let's see. Anderson, 55.6. Much better going out. And Haughey was a little slower, 54.4. The woman who's kind of doing it now for Energy, who has really kind of flown under the radar so much, we rarely talk about her, is Femke Hemsker, who has, you know, done everything they've asked from her, and yet she still plays in the shadows of her teammates Haughey and especially Schoistrom. And she won the gold medal back in 2008 for the Netherlands. That's how long she's been around, and she just time and time again gets the job done, and she's going to do it here, and Energy's going to go 1-2. Freya was never really in this.
And look at the jackpot line. This could be big for Haughey. She gets the win, 8 for 8. 1-2 for Energy standard. And again, that's the key. You touch the wall first, you get the jackpot. And Siobhan Haughey is going to haul in a whole bunch of points for that battle.
Just a beautiful swim by Femke Hemsker. She won her best time 6 years ago in 2014. She was about 0.7 of a second off of that. But more importantly, she got those second place points where everybody, we did it. I mean, at the beginning, that's all we did. We talked about Anderson and Haughey, Anderson, Haughey. We did it in the 100 free as well. And here's Hemsker just having doing such a nice job of pulling off a really nice double there. And this very, very impressive.
Well, Siobhan Haughey now in contention for MVP. She's got 38.5 points in the match, just behind our MVP leader, Sarah Schoistrom. Both teammates doing it together, and Femke Hemsker, she is now 3rd in the MVP battle. Again, just to show you the impact that she makes.
Yeah.
Danis Rapsis, surprise upset yesterday, you'd still have to say, in that 400 freestyle, right?
Yeah, as much as I thought Dean Scott was the MVP for London yesterday. Yes, everybody's saying Adam Peaty, but for what Duncan Scott, when Duncan Scott brought to this London team was just so much, just pure emotion. And to be able to win the 200 IM and then go on and beat this guy who might be one of the favorites to win Olympic gold in 2 events next year. And here they go again, this time in the 200 freestyle. Can Duncan Scott do it again? It's a tall order twice in a row.
Rapsis has won this event the last 3 times.
The dark horse in this is Matsumoto from Tokyo. He's in lane number 2 from the left. He's got a lot of speed. In fact, he most likely will be first at the 100. He was 49 flat going out when he went 141.7, which is only 0.4 of a second off of what Rapsis went.
Matsumoto really pushing the pace. Tom Dean in the battle. He won the 400 freestyle. Duncan Scott won the 200 IM, both with breakout performances. And man, at the moment, Rapsis finds himself trailing Matsumoto and Duncan Scott.
Yeah, look at Duncan Scott go. Nice Nice job, 49-3 for him. Exactly what Matsumoto was supposed to do. And Rapsis is 5th at 50.1. This is not the Dennis Rapsis we've seen all season. I mean, for some reason or another, he just does not have it. And, you know, Tom Dean is doing a good job. He's 50 flat going out, the winner of that 400 free. Wow!
Duncan Scott already with a 200 IM win. Rapsis is charging. Here he comes, trying to soar home.
Wait, he sure is wasting a lot of time to make that charge. It's too late. It is too late. Duncan Scott's going to get it done.
Rapsis is going to go into second, but Duncan Scott has done it again. 140.76. A new ISL record. He goes faster than Rapsis did in match number 6.
That's a new ISL record. That's a new British record. He is the man right now. Boy, you cannot wait to get him into the finals next week. And how about Tom Dean, his teammate, getting 4th at 142.3. That was a swim for Dean as well. They get 1st and 4th. Rapsis slides to 2nd, Matsumoto 3rd. But watch Tom Dean. Rapsis tried to make it interesting at the end. But you can't go out 50 flat and do that. Not against this guy who's just on fire. Wins it by a body length. 49.3 comes home in 51.4. Yes, sir, buddy. Nice job.
The roar certainly peaking at the right moment. Big time performance for Duncan Scott, his 2nd win of the weekend. Sjöström's energy standard leading London at the moment by 50 points. 50 butterfly next on the pool deck, and this is going to be interesting for Sjöström because you have her teammate, Maddie Bannock, that won this event when Sjöström was out dealing with a back injury. Bannock was fresh yesterday, and she was huge reason why they did so well on the relay. You have Surkova down in lane number 7. And then Waddle and Kamenova. Well, it could be a pretty tight battle.
Yeah, what an addition Waddle has been. And Bannock. Waddle for London. And then Bannock for Energy. And, you know, this is, on paper anyway, I hate to even say it, but this is a fairly weak event. Even with that amazing woman in this event, she only comes in with the 4th fastest time of the season. But we have 4, 5, and 6 in this race. 3rd fastest swimmer in history. One of the oldest world records on the book. 24:38 by Alsommer back in 2009.
Yeah, Sjöström has only won this event twice in her career, in Indianapolis and in Naples. And look at Bannock get out to a good start.
Boy, Bannock's got a lot of speed into and out of that break, into the water and out of the break. And she's got a great dolphin kick. Look at Bannock go. She goes to full 15 meters there.
She is in a challenge with Surkova. Who is it going to be? Surkova gets it done. New York with their 2nd win.
A shocker. And all of a sudden that skin gets a little interesting, doesn't it? I mean, my money's still on Sjöström for 3 of them, but all of a sudden now Surkova kept talking Bannock, Scheuser. You see Bannock come off that wall, but she kind of disappeared from view. 2 from the right, that's Surkova. And what a lap, puts her head down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strokes into the wall. And gets the job done by 9/100ths of a second over Bannock, not Scheuster.
Still, it's good enough for Energy Standard to remain on top with 429 points. Pretty wide open men's 50 fly. Kawamoto's won it once. Manidu's won it once. And Chad Leclos stepping out of the pool deck in an event, believe it or not, Rowdy, that he has not won.
Yeah, this is another one where it's a fairly weak event for this quartet of teams. The fastest is Kawamoto. It's the only one that has won this season, 22-28. And I think he's probably the slight favorite along with Michael Andrew. How do you say that with Chad Leclos in the field? I don't know, but Leclos, it takes him a while to get going. Leclos does have he's the 5th fastest swimmer in history in this event. He's been 21:95, but that was way back in 2014, Bernie. There's Michael Andrew. He's got a shot.
Can he get his 2nd win of the day? Manidu in the field as well. His 1 win came back in Indianapolis. Later today, we are going to see the 50-year-old Nicolas Santos maybe give the world record a go.
Manidu was solid in the 100 freestyle. He's not ranked, he's ranked 9th in history in this event, and it's still pretty tight right now.
Yeah, also the event, Kush is moving up. Oh, it is! Kawamoto got his hand on the wall first. Look at how tight that was, though. 3/100ths of a second separating first from 3rd, and 4/100ths of a second separating first from 4th. It doesn't get much tighter than that, folks.
It's actually 14/100ths separates the top 5 swimmers. Manidu was 5th, yet he was only 14/100ths of a second behind Kawamoto, and 3/100ths, as you said, top 3, 8 between 1 and 4. Matsui was 4th, and look at this, right there. Easy to see, that guy right there, all the way across to the left. All 5 of those guys touched in. You'll see another angle of 14/100ths of a second was the difference. And Kawamoto, very much a lot of respect in that field right there between these big guns.
Tokyo, a much-needed win. But as we go to break, Energy Standard and London still remain the 2 teams looking to move on to the final. Yeah, the drama building here on day 2 of our first semifinal. Teramura coming out of the pool deck. She has won this event 1 time in lane number 3. Brie Larson has won this event a time as well, but the battle we expect, Rowdy, is going to be in the middle between Benedetta Pilato, who's won this event twice in her first season, and the world record holder, Alia Atkinson. Give the nod to Pilato, who took down Atkinson in the 50, but the question is, could she go up and do the same in the 100?
You know, the only thing we have to base it on, obviously historically this season, but also the relay yesterday. And if you look at the relay splits, Pilato was 103.1, Atkinson was 103.7. Nobody else under 104, so you've got to figure those 2 are the ones that are going to battle it out. Pilato had the most speed going out, also had the most speed coming home. So I think this is another race between these two swimmers right now. Pilato doesn't even turn 16 until January, going against this amazing veteran, the world record holder. Atkinson's been 3.5, Pilato's been 3.6. I don't think that tells the whole story of what Pilato has been able to do over the course of the season. Look at Atkinson go there.
She's going after it. Remember yesterday, Roddy, she swam the 100 butterfly before the 50 breaststroke.
Yeah.
Not giving her any excuses, but I would think that obviously Pilato came in a whole lot more rested. And look at this, over a half second the lead for the world record holder.
29.6 on the way out. That's right at her world record split, believe it or not. 29.5, so she's not too far off of that. Now Pilato's gonna come charging back, but there ain't no way. Ain't no way she's catching it.
Atkinson says, come catch me. This is a veteran win for Atkinson, dominating the breaststroke. Oh, wow, 102.66, only 3/10 off the world record. Ooh, I'm back, Atkinson says, back on top. And a jackpot win at that, 15 points going the way of London. That had to feel good.
It had to feel good, and I think she's saying to herself, you know, it's about time I got that again. You know, she went that 102.36 back in 2014. That was 6 years ago. Really hasn't been that close since. And she just exploded out. That is a half a second faster than Lily King has been this season. Now we'll get a chance to see Lily tomorrow swim this event, and later on she'll swim 3 events, but this is Alia Atkinson's moment. 29.6 on the way out, 33 flat coming home, and she wins it by a second over arguably the person that was favored to beat her.
All right, 20 big points for London, led by Atkinson. Back down to Mark.
Leah, that was awesome.
Thank you.
Pleased, you're back to your best again. That's not far off your world record.
I've been trying this whole meet. I'm really happy to see that it's coming along. After the 50 yesterday, it was a bit iffy, but I'm really happy for this one.
So what do you put that down to? Your timing's just coming together so much better?
I mean, our goal was to build and battle and get better, and I think the 100 fly helped me to get into that gear. So just changing it up and seeing what I can do.
So 100 fly before every race?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Look, well done, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Atkinson near a world record, and if yesterday's relay split was anything for Adam Peaty, you have to think that the man has a chance to break the world record right here.
I've had so many people text me and tweet at me and say, hey, he was 54.8 on the relay. The world record's only 55.6. Well, that was with a flying start. But with a flying start, that's about a half a second. Half a second to 6/10. So yeah, he definitely has a shot. So does Shimanovic. Shimanovic was 55.1 on the relay.
And by the way, Peaty doesn't even own the ISL record. It's Emery Sati who's going to go later today for iron, maybe eyeing a world record in the 50 breaststroke. Would you expect though, Shimanovic getting out to the early lead, but here comes Peaty, folks.
All right,
already he's got the lead.
Let's watch it, Bernie. We've got to start watching it. World record split 25.98. They're 26.04, 26.05. They're 6/100ths of a second off the world record.
All right, Peaty, Shimanovic turning even, but expect Peaty to come charging home.
Oh, here he comes!
Peaty charging, Peaty goes, oh! He's done it! 55.49!
that. 2 in 2 days, Bernie. I had a feeling that was going down. Off that split yesterday, you had a feeling. That record, 11 years old, by the great Cameron Vandenberg from South Africa. And it is now officially gone. And how good was Shimanovic? Give him a lot of credit. He was the 3rd fastest swimmer in history. He missed the old world record by 8/100ths of a second. Those are the 2 of the 3 fastest times in history. But boy, watch Shimanovic on the left and watch it all the way home. You thought, look at that pullout by Shimanovic. You thought, he's got it. He's got it, but just like in the 50, nobody is better swimming breaststroke than that guy. Look at that. Splits, 26 flat, 29.4, world, European, British, the best in history.
What a moment for Adam Peaty. 2nd world record for Mel Marshall in London. Let's go down to Mark, who's with the world record holder in the 100 breaststroke, Adam Peaty.
You're right, no one's better in the world at breaststroke. Adam, another world record.
Yeah, I mean, my first short course world record. Obviously, I struggled with short course. It took so much out of me on those turns, but, you know, for me, in that last length, I was like, there's no one that works harder on that last length. That's what we've been doing for 10 years, for moments like that. And to be fair, like, I probably could have turned again. But, you know, it's all about a learning process. That isn't my best swim. It's a world record, but I know I can be faster. And, you know, for me, that's for my family tonight.
You kind of glided into a few of those walls, you missed them, but you can't say you can't swim short course anymore.
I know, yeah, I've been putting it off for about 6 years, but, you know, when you've got a great team here and back home analysing the data, you know, it makes it all worth it. So, it is my victory, but it's as much theirs as well.
Awesome, good job. Get ready for those skins.
Thank you, cheers.
I tell you this, Mel Marshall has London ready to go, and we're gonna see Peaty again in the skins at the end, Rowdy.
Yeah, does he take 35 minutes, rest here, and go for the 50 again?
Why not?
Why not, right?
Granted, there are 3 50s of breaststroke.
Yeah, you have to go for the first one for sure.
All right, here we go, mixed freestyle relay.
This one's interesting. A lot of the speedsters are left off this relay. No Hemskirk. No Sjöström. You do have Hahi. You do have Frey Anderson. You know, based on the splits they had yesterday in the respective free relays for men and women, I added those up. Energy wins by a second. So not that much, but there's a little bit of shifting of personnel here. And, you know, London does have a shot, especially when you throw Duncan Scott on there, who's been so amazing for London.
Well, look at how it is grown closer. Back to 34 points the lead for Energy Standard.
They would love to get this one, Bernie. Boy, that would give him a lot of confidence going in these last 2 or 3 events.
Yeah, Thornmeyer and Correa. It looks like Tokyo, they're in the mix. 1st and 3rd after the first 100.
Tokyo doesn't have the women to be able to do it. They've got the men's side, but they just don't have enough firepower on the women's side to match up with Energy in London.
Duncan Scott battling with Kolesnikov after his newly minted British record.
Duncan Scott was 46.1 on that medley relay that he anchored against Manadoo, one of the great relays I've ever seen here in the ISL. Kolesnikov, he's 45 plus every time he swims. You can bet he's going to be 45 plus, and he did it again, 45.6. Duncan Scott, though, great at 45.9. They're hanging in there.
Man, how about that start by Anna Hopkin? Energy Standard came in first, but Hopkin, a huge advantage on the start over Bloom there.
Yeah, she really had a great start, and it was safe. If you're wondering if it was safe or not, yeah, .20, plenty of time to spare on that. And are we going to see it again? Or is Freya Anderson actually going to go in with the lead this time?
Hopkin trying to hold off the Olympic champion. It has gotten a whole lot closer, folks, but Anderson is going to have a slight lead over Hahi.
She actually has the lead this time. This is the first time that I can remember, at least this weekend, that she's had the lead going into this relay. And Hahi in her third race. Anderson in her third race. How tired are they, knowing that they got out of the 200 freestyle about 30 minutes ago?
2/10 the advantage for Anderson. Hahi, though, is coming home strong, though, for energy.
Good turn by Anderson. I don't know. I think she may end up holding her off.
And looks like the third time is the charm for Anderson. London gets the win. Oh, what a relay win for London. Adam Peaty, the world record. And don't blink, folks, because London's right there. All right, as it's 6, 28 points, the advantage for Energy Standard over London. And here we are with the 400 IM and Yuri Ohashi unbeaten in this event. 4 wins on the season. We've got 5 in the top 10 in the ISL ratings, battling it out here in the 400 IM, Roddy.
Yeah, if you think about it, you've got the top 3. We know Melanie Margalis, the top 3 are in this race. And you said 5 of 7, so it's this is a great field again. And we'll have the same exact type of field in the men's 400 IM coming up. Two really solid fields here in this decathlon of swimming.
Abby Wood with a win. She's the 7th rated ISL swimmer. She's going to be out in lane number 7. Ohashi unbeaten, 4 for 4, but Cindy Pickram, she came out of nowhere to close and get second in that 100 IM.
Better in the 400 too. I think a lot of people would say the 200 IM is her best event, but I would certainly argue that Pickram's best event is the 400 IM, especially short course.
I mean, it goes without saying, Roddy, that London looks fresh. They look rested. They look ready to go. But I actually really like this strategy because the fact is the finals is only a couple days from now. It's not like you're resting and then the finals is going to be in 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
It's just in a couple of days, and to maintain a taper for a handful more days, not a big deal at all, right?
No, it really isn't at all, Bernie. You're right. And I think they're starting to peak, and they probably realize that, hey, this is sort of like think of it back in the States, it's probably like a conference meet. You know that NCAA's is only a week away. So this is a situation where they're really starting to peak in a perfect time. And boy, Ohashi, just such a beautiful butterfly. She may be leading this race at the 200 by 4 seconds. And I mean, I wouldn't doubt leading Pickram by 4 seconds here at the 200 mark. And of course, Pickram will pick up at least 2 seconds on her in the breaststroke.
It's going to be a great first season for the Tokyo Frog Kings. They're going to fall short of their mark of trying to make it to the final, Roddy. But I think that the team that Kitajima put together in just a handful of weeks This is a group that you get a couple pieces, you get a Seto back, you get, like you mentioned, a couple more sprint freestylers on the female side.
And a good Morozov.
Yep, and a good Morozov, and find yourself in a pretty good spot to be right there with Energy, be right there with London.
Yep, hey, you're so right. Their inaugural season has been nothing short of outstanding, considering what they had to go up against, Bernie. And they're IMers, they've got a lot of stroke specialists. They need to improve on the relays, no doubt. And here's this lead we talked about, 2:08 flat. She's a little off her pace. In fact, she's about 2 seconds off of what she's been this year. So that kind of gives everybody else a little bit of hope. She's 2:08 flat. Jacobos was 2:10.2, and if you look at Pickram, she's only 2 seconds behind Ohashi. So that's believe it or not, that can be made up. It doesn't look like it, I know.
And her teammate, Amy Wilmon, right now finds herself as well ahead of Susanna Jacobos. And again, that's what's key is when you get in these tight battles at the end, just try to be a point or two ahead of your competitors every race down the stretch, because you know you're going to wind up finishing it up with Adam Peaty at the end.
And here comes Pickram right now. Wilmot can kind of just maintain that 4th, 5th position. She's in a good place. You know that Ohashi can feel Pickram breathing down her neck. Every stroke. Here I come. I'm going to make it interesting for you. I'm not going to make it easy for you. And Pickram's got a great last 100. When she went 4:25, she was 1:03.5 her last 50, or excuse me, her last 100. No, she was 1:01.9. Ohashi was 1:03.5. So she's better in the freestyle than Ohashi is.
Well, the difference was a second and a half. We'll see how much she cuts into it. Look at Abby Wood moving up for the New York Breakers. She's going to challenge Pickram for second, potentially.
Yeah, Abby Wood kind of flying under the radar just because of the fact that she's swimming for New York, and they're not in the team battle, but she's putting up a great fight. Look at these 3 swimmers right now. Abby Wood was close to the British record. Hannah Miley has that 4:23.1. She's not going to get it here, but she's already broke 1 record. Not going to catch her, though.
Ohashi is going to be perfect in her 400 IM career. 5 for 5 as she gets the win. Tokyo on top in the 400 IM.
And that's just off her Japanese record, a national record. She has the national record, Barney, at 4:22.73. She's a half a second off that. Best time of the season by far. And so was Pickram. And the good news for Sydney Pickram, see you later, Ohashi. I don't have to worry about you anymore. And now Pickram is going to be the huge favorite to win at the ISL level, which is good news for London. They don't have to deal with Ohashi anymore. And Abby Wood was great as well. Abby Wood was 3rd at 4:25.6. That's her best time of the, not only of the season, but that is her best time, lifetime, by over a second and a half. She's over there with a white cap. But once again, Ohashi doing the job. How many times is that?
5 for 5.
5 for 5. Wow.
Now she'll be perfect going into ISL 2021. And look at that. The difference for London for Energy Standard is they get back a handful, and they've narrowed the margin. Men's 400 IM right here. Much better event, by the way, for Energy Standard than it is on the women's side, because they have Max Stupin rated 3rd, Max Litchfield rated 5th. But the Olympic champion finds himself down in lane number 2, and he is looking to go 5 for 5, just like Ohashi.
26 years of age, last swim of the season for Hagino. And I know he'd like to go out just like his teammate did, with a best time, and try to get under 4 minutes. That would be huge. Only 10 swimmers in history have ever broken 4 minutes. And believe it or not, he's not one of them. His best time is 4:01.1, and that was set 6 years ago. He was close at 4:14. Certainly the guy to beat, no question about it.
And in the team battle, folks, for the first time of the day, the margin is 1 point closer. It began with a 21-point lead for Energy over London. It is now a 20-point lead with 3 events remaining. Certainly doable.
And Bernie, you're right, it's doable, but it has to start here. It has to start in the IM. Let's just say, for example, Energy's 3rd and 4th here. That's good news for London. You want Tokyo to win, and you want Tokyo to get 2nd. That's the idea here. If they can get 4th or 5th, keep it close. Tom Dean's been there. You saw what he did in the 400 free yesterday. Vazayos is certainly a great 200 IMer. So if you're Mel Marshall, you're pulling for 2 teams here. You're pulling for Tokyo all the way. Go ahead and win it. Get 2nd. And let my guys keep it close. Break it up. Do a 3rd and 5th, 4th and 6th, something like that to make it interesting going into the skins.
They'd even like for Alameda on the New York Breakers side to find themselves potentially in 3rd.
Yeah, you're right. Let's pull from it's not often you're pulling for any competitor, but you can bet Mel is pulling for New York and Tokyo. New York, Tokyo, Tokyo. Mel Marshall's pulling for both of them.
Honda, not a very good backstroke at all. He slipped way down to 6th.
Well, he went from 2nd to 6th in a hurry, didn't he? Didn't take long for him. And he's better on the breaststroke, but Energy's doing good. 3rd and 4th, 3rd and 5th right now. They're doing their job. And right now, you see London going by you, 7th and 8th. They do not want to be 7th and 8th. It's not a death sentence as far as catching Energy, but it just makes it that much harder.
Hagino in the lead.
Yeah. He was 3:03, Bernie, after the 300 when he went 4:01. 2:33 there, so he's going to be, excuse me, he was 2:29 there, so he's right on track. He throws in another 35 flat, he's 2:34. I mean, he's 3:04. That's what I'm guessing he's going to be, 3:04 here.
Max Litchfield is having quite a time on the breaststroke. He's 2nd in front of Alameda, but only by a 10th.
Boy, Max Litchfield, you know, we talked a lot about him this season, had that great first 400 IM of the season. Was under the weather for a while, didn't swim in a couple matches. He went 4:04.5, and now here he is, finds himself 2nd, and Energy is 4th. This is just fantastic. You couldn't ask for anything better if you're Energy, except to win it. And you don't want Almeida to go by you if you're Max Litchfield, and he's there right there, but Litchfield looking pretty good to hang on to 2nd.
Tokyo, though, dominant in the IMs. Ohashi 5 for 5, and Hagino joins her on top.
That hurt London. Tied for 6th.
The Frog Kings, IM Kings. All right, 50 skins butterfly with a 28.5-point lead, riding on Energy Standard. They got the pick after they won the relay, and they chose butterfly skins. We're going to see Sjöström in 4 and Bannock, who's got to be a little bit fresher, Rowdy, down in lane number 3.
Again, we go back to the team battle for just a second. It really is important for Waddle and or Kamenova to get into that Final 4, because you've got to figure the top 3 are sets. Surkova, Bannock, and Sjöström, they're all a half a second ahead of Waddle, who is 4, sitting in 4th. So you got to hope Waddle gets in there, and maybe somehow or another, Kamenova does something. London can get 2 in there. It would be huge.
Well, Surkova won the 50 butterfly earlier today.
Yeah.
Don't quite put her as a favorite to win the skins because it's 3 50s, but certainly Surkova could make it interesting. There's Kamenova. She's going to be in lane number 6.
Surkova beat Bannock by 9 100ths and Sjöström by 17 100ths of a second. Those 3, pretty much a slam dunk to make it in. Good start by Imai, and in lane number 1. She didn't swim the individual 50 fly. There's those 3 right there. You see him.
Bannock looked good.
Yeah, Bannock looks great.
Bannock trying to lead the charge. London might be out here in the first round. It is, oh, Kamenova just by the hair getting through as Bannock takes round number 1.
Yeah, that was important. Again, that was really critical. But you can see it's the haves and have-nots there with Kamenova doing a great job, by the way. 25.5, she went faster than she went in her individual event to get in there in that 4 spot for London. But boy, Bannock, 24.98. Now they have to face this veteran. Doing just enough right next to Bannock. There's Sjöström. She didn't even get second there. She gets 3rd. You know, all the way, my money's on Sjöström. I mean, I just don't know how you can face that power that she has and that experience that she has in this event over and over and over and over again.
All right, so just like we said before, staying on those start, turn, finish. Your finish was the best finish you've had so far. Yeah, just all you got to do is nail those little pieces. Okay.
All right, big breath, big breath.
This moment is big for London if Kamenova can somehow sneak through, but you'd almost think at this moment the favorite is for Energy Standard to get two into the final, right?
You're right, Bernie. I think I give the edge to Energy to get 2 in here, and there they are. Again, if you look at Bannock and what she's been able to do, she has just been sensational in this event. Today, it's been hers.
And so Bannock is going to be in 3, Sjöström in 4, Kamenova in 5, and the 50 fly winner from earlier today, Surkova in lane number 6. Who is going to break through to the final? Only 2 will advance.
It's that early speed and great underwaters of Bannock you see right there. Boy, she's got the best first 15 meters of anybody I've seen here this year. Look at that.
Look at Bannock underwater. She is gonna pop up first, and it looks pretty good for Energy to get to as Sjöström closes, and Energy indeed does it. And get this, even though London got a swimmer into the next round, Sjöström says no points for you as she steals them away from Kamenova.
Took them right away. Big moment for her to get in there, and then, you know what? They just got stolen right back. And they got stolen from who else? Energy. And who else? Sjöström. You know, look at Bannock to the left. Well, I think maybe she spent a little too long coming off that second wall. She almost went about 13, 14 meters, and I think she needed to pop up just a little sooner than that. She's so good at underwater, that's the key, but boy, when you get into that second 50, that's tough. And now you know the huge favorite now.
And Rowdy Energy is gonna lead the Skins with a 78.5 point
Real
lead.
good, real good. Where's she going? She's going to lane 8.
Sjöström is gonna be the MVP, folks. She's got 58 points. Can she win the Skins for the third time this year? Nobody tougher in this moment than Sarah Sjöström.
This is true. I think Bannock is just thrilled to be here. But what a season she's had thus far. She's just been incredible. Give her a lot of credit.
And all Energy Skins final in the butterfly.
Great career at Tennessee, Bannock had. Look at the rating. Boy, it didn't take long to get him off the blocks. Dead even going off the blocks. And there goes Bannock.
You know, Bannock is the better underwater swimmer, but when it comes to swimming, Sjöström's gonna close the gap. Let's see how long Bannock can stay under. Bannock pops up in the lead, but here comes Sarah Sjöström. Energy standards, Sjöström, third time the Skins winner.
That's why when you have a Skins opportunity, you'd be crazy not to pick Sarah Sjöström. I mean, whether it's the 50 fly or even 50 free, everybody thought maybe not shooting the 53 with Bosick in there, but 3 in a row. You're right, Bernie, when you said there's just nobody better. I can't think of anybody better for 350s like this in a Skins-type format than Sarah Sjöström. And I know I'll get some arguments about Caleb Dressel and others, but 3 in a row, she is just sensational. And Bannock, how about Bannock?
65 points for Sarah Sjöström. Semifinal #1 MVP is also the Skins winner.
here. 45 seconds, just a hero, you're gonna be here. Flash, over there. Seconds.
All right, Energy Standard has gone from 28.5 points on top to 78.5 points on top with a brilliant skins performance by Bannock and Choiceum. And now time for the breaststroke skins. Kosecki made his way all the way down to the final. Morozov has been waiting for this moment. Will he break out here? Lima and Shemanovich going for Energy Standard.
Certainly Petey and Shemanovich. You're fighting for 2 spots now, and really you're probably fighting for 1 spot because Pagoda was 25.8 when he was 3rd. So you've got 8 swimmers, or excuse me, you've got 5 swimmers fighting for 1 spot here. That's the way it looks.
Yeah, on the right, Marco Kaku came so close to breaking the world record in the 200 breaststroke. We'll have to wait till ISL 2021 to get a crack at it. He's paired with Michael Andrew, who's had a really good final day of competition. The battle to get in the top 4 here could be pretty tight here, Rowdy.
I think Kosecki, Lima, and Andrew are fighting for the 4th spot. Now the question is, does Petey go for it and go for the world record, or does he do sort of like Sjöström did and manage this race? I think he's going to manage it. The world record could come another day. He's had 45 minutes since the 100 breaststroke, so plenty of time for rest.
Pagoda looks pretty good. His teammate turning first.
There are the 2 green caps. Pagoda to the right. There's Petey. Shemanovich right there, so they're definitely fighting for 4th.
Petey is going to win round number 1. How fast will it be? Oh, 25.48. It's a jackpot win for Adam Petey. Not too far off world record pace there.
Yeah, and that, believe it or not, that's a British record too. So he's got a world record and a British record all in one day, and only 23/100ths of a second off the world record. And if that guy's managing this first race, I hate to see if it was fresh. Good Lord, what a great race by Adam Petey. And I thought maybe it was a little too quick, unless he was going for it. He might have been going for it. Who knows? I mean, you know, it's hard to get into the mind of somebody, hey, should I go for it here? Shemanovich, Pagoda, obviously, and then Lima's the 4th guy. Lima's just out touching Andrew and Kosecki.
And that's big for Energy Standard Rowdy to get 2 moving on to the 2nd round of the skins.
And Morozov way back. .25.48. Boy, what a good double this guy has had here. Look at those 2 teammates.
He needs Pagoda to step up big here and join him in the final.
Could it be an all-London final, just like we had an all-energy final?
Hard to discount Shemanovich.
Yeah, you know, if you're an energy fan, you're certainly pulling for Shemanovich. He was in a race that, of course, he went his fastest time he's ever been in his life. Missed the world record by just 100ths of a second, gets 2nd to Petey. It would be Nice little redemption if he could get Petey here. But first things first, he's got to get into the final. And that's not going to be easy.
Energy still with a 72.5-point lead over London. Lima, Shimanovic, Petey, Pagoda. Which two will move on?
Good start across the board. Nobody really got off to a great start. All 0.6 low reaction times. Two London swimmers on the right going out after it.
Yeah, Pagoda looks pretty good. Not a great turn, though. Here comes Petey. Shimanovic coming on. And it's going to be Petey and Shimanovic. Great effort, though, by Pagoda to try to get out, and that's going to seal the deal in the match for Energy Standard. That's going to get the win, but we've got one more battle to still come here.
Shimanovic smart, going right into loosening down, shaking that lactic acid out as much as possible. You see Petey, that just beautiful breaststroke. Still, in my opinion, the best breaststroke sprinter in history. I think Kitajima would argue he's the best breaststroker in history, but again, I definitely think he's the most popular British swimmer in history. And I would definitely argue that he's the greatest British swimmer in history.
A record-breaking day for Adam Petey. Will it end with him winning the skins for the second time in the breaststroke?
Well, Shimanovic has been here before. He got second to Sachi in match number 7 in the skins. Did he learn anything from that? And I think he learned a lot.
To their second consecutive grand final. What a couple these two have had over the last 2 days. A great offering, 5100 breaststroke, handling relay, now begins finale.
Just a couple of quick pointers from his coach, Mel Marshall. What a leader she is.
Boy, Shimanovic is a scary presence, isn't he?
Yeah.
Doesn't he look like good gravy? He's one big dude, man.
And by the way, later today, Emery Sachi is going to go after this 50 breaststroke world record in our second semifinal. We're not done here at the Duna Arena. London and Energy, they're on to the final, but who will win our final battle of this first semifinal? Will it be Petey or Shimanovic?
Solid start for both of them. Still 0.62, 0.64. Shimanovic will probably have the slight edge into and out of the turn.
No, it's Petey. Look at that.
Oh, wow. Petey says, no way, you're not going to get me here. And now you can kiss it goodbye. There is no way he's going down.
What a day. A world record-breaking day for Petey, and he's the skins winner.
Back-to-backs, Bernie. I mean, how about the first one? He goes to British record, 25:48. The second one, 3 minutes later, he goes 25:74. And how about the last one? 25:70.
Don't sleep on London, folks. They were 9.5 points away from taking down Energy a year ago, and man, did they look good today. But the defending champion sees the day. Energy Standard, 4 straight wins, as they win semifinal number 1 with 580 points. Down to Mark, who's with Gibbo.
James was really, really pleased with the team. Got the job done, and energy are so hot right now.
No, we're building. The guys were much better than what they were in the last couple of matches. A little bit more emotion, semi-finals. Going in, London really stepped up their game, but you know, we've raced them 3 times, we've won every time, so but they got a lot more momentum now, so we got pretty confident going into the final. Very happy with the guys' performances, but we just got to make sure we keep our heads on the ball really, because Cali are going to come out fighting next week as well.
And there was some awesome racing and some obviously incredible times. What do you guys do for next week? Where can you go deeper?
We've got to go back for a bit of work. We've got to make them refresh. You know, we need to get a little bit more rested, and then I think, you know, we'll see our guys step it up to a next level as well. Awesome. They're getting better and better.
Awesome, good job.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
What a day for Energy Standard. After losing the first match of the season, they run away with their 4th straight win, led by Sarah Sjöström, our match MVP, with 65 points, and we're just getting it cranked up at the Duna Arena. Later today, 6 o'clock local, noon Eastern, our second semifinal. Cali, LA Current, Team Iron, Toronto Titans, all vying for a spot. But for now, for Jenny Drummond, Mark Foster, Roddy Gaines, and our entire ISL crew, burning up their saying so long from Budapest for now. Back here in 4 hours with more fast swimming.